Yeah, that was funny. So, welcome. We're going to be here for a little bit. So, let's get situated. Make sure you have your drink. I got mine. See a nice little plug I did there? Got to be creative, right? So, as I was saying, buckle up. Got a lot of information to get out, a lot of little stuff to go over. But basically, we're going to be talking about the SBMM and how, coming from an outsider looking in, I don't see this being the issue. I think the issue's in with the players. At the same time, fair warning, I'm going to be a hypocrite about this because I'm an outsider looking in. I don't want to be an expert in this at the moment, but at the same time, I've played other games. So I do understand how the veteran Call of Duty players are when they make changes and they remove stuff and they do stuff to just piss you off. I went through that with GTA. I went through that with Fallout, and other games. But you have to be able to make the change. But now they're catering to new players. That's what Fallout's doing. And I'm not a fan of it where a level 5 can outperform a level 1000, 2000, 3000 way up there. Because it takes a while to become that level. I'm not a fan of that. But, I'm like, screw the newbies. But in this case, for Call of Duty, I'm the opposite. I'm the new guy. Seeing a lot of players are having issues because they're trying to play Call of Duty 3 like Call of Duty 2 or whatever, or Black Ops, and they've changed the game so much, little things, but overall, it's a different game. It feels different. To me, it looks different because I haven't played this in like over 10 years. I played like Call of Duty 2 or Call of Duty, I don't even know which one it was, but it was Black Ops. I was more into the Black Ops of this, and it's completely different. That's why I say I'm a new player. So I'm going to go over some of the changes that I made to allow me to get better. And a lot of it's in the settings because you're going to see that. We're going to show you that. I'm also going to show you where I got my information from so that you guys can fact check me because I get it. I'm the new guy. I'm not the biggest YouTuber, especially now coming into Call of Duty. Nobody knows me, so no one's going to believe anything I say. And I get that. So I'm going to show you where I get some of my information from, and then you guys can go fact check me and then do your own thing and come to your own conclusion. And I understand you might not like the title, but I do believe that this is more of a me issue or a you issue. It's not really the issue of the game or the developers. Okay, the games have gotten way more sophisticated. They have done so much compared, like, I can't go backwards and play a game. I mean, playing Call of Duty 1 or playing um, Splinter Cell, even though those were great games at the time, the graphics are so much more better now. The game is so more intuitive. It changes everything. And like I said, there's a lot of information I got to get out. It's going to take me a while to explain it. So please bear with me. I appreciate it. And I got some cool stuff to show you. So in this clip that I'm going to show you is going to show two clips. One is when I first started to play, and then I've only played 4 times. What I mean, like 4 times up to this point, I've played like 2 more times since. What I mean is 4 separate days, not necessarily in a row. So compared from the first day I played to the fourth day, I've made some changes, and you're going to see in the first part that all the mistakes I'm making, dying, losing, not even able to shoot, especially with the gun, and I do get a lot of haters trying to explain that my aim is like a potato, and sometimes it might be. But when it comes to Call of Duty, a lot of it is because I'm new. I'm trying to get the system, and rather than blame the system, I got to make some changes on how I play and what my settings change, and that's what I mean. Where I got my idea for the settings and where I made my adjustments from, it was like 4 YouTubers. I'm going to point out 2 of them here in a minute so that you can watch their full video about their tips and what they do. And you guys are going to see the big change. So let's go ahead and just watch that real quick.
That's funny. Yo, what up, Jax? Whoa, shit. Nah, I couldn't find him quick enough.
I'm taking rounds.
Shit, I gotta pay attention.
Cabrón, este se está arrastrando y no se escucha, chico, por Dios.
So you see how horrible that was? You guys can say what you want. I'm new. But I'm not going to blame the skill base because they don't know where to put me at this point in time because I'm new. And if there's not enough players of the same caliber, you know, because not everyone's playing at the same time, the game might have a hard time making a perfect match. So it's going to do the best it can with what it has. I'm also going to do a little foreshadowing here. I'm going to bring this up again later. The lobby I'm in, as you can tell, they're speaking a different language. We're going to talk more about that later on. But you can see how trashy that was. So now, let's go watch the rest. After I made some changes in my settings, we'll see the difference. Plus, I've been playing, like I said, this is like the fourth or fifth time, I forgot, lost track. But now you're going to see a big improvement. And this came from a live stream. What I'm trying to get at is even when I improved and I started to do better, it surprised me. And you're going to hear that here in a moment. So let's watch that. Creeping through the rhythm of my heart.
We've stopped the tank. Hold your position. Stop the enemy from escorting their tank.
Already?
See? I was surprised. See? So with a few changes, you guys can already see the difference. I see the difference. Let me know if you see the difference. Make some comments, you know? So let's go over where I got my ideas for the changes that I made. Like I said, there's 4 YouTubers I went to, but these are the 2 main ones that I chose. I'm not trying to say one's better than the other, but this is where I got a lot of my ideas and how I was going to run with this. So I can't pronounce that, but check his channel out to help you on how to move, how to aim, how to do your settings so that you can be more successful. Because as you saw, you know, like the first couple streams I did, I was playing bad, but now I'm playing better with just doing these changes. So I don't see how that's an issue with the skill-based matchmaking. Now the other one that I got a lot of ideas from is Crowder. Apparently he's like a world champion for Call of Duty a couple times. He's a coach now. A lot of useful information. In fact, that's where we're going to show some of the clips. Because as I mentioned, people like to talk about my aim and that I shoot walls and I can't aim right. And that might be true sometimes, but that's true with anybody. Nobody's perfect. But with this game, there's a reason why I shoot the walls a lot, especially since I'm new to the game and every weapon that you get is crap. You have to level it up. Now, to help me with that is I'm using an LMG, and the only reason why I'm using it is because I pre-ordered the game, so I wanted the early access. Because of that, I got some weapons and some skins that are normally locked, but now they're unlocked, and they come with some slightly better upgrades. You know, I still need to improve it more and level it up, but it's better than the basic gun. And again, I'm no expert. I'm coming new to the game. I am learning. But that's why I want to do this video, because I'm going to show, even with the stuff that I'm getting better, when I come out with videos down the road, you're going to see improvement. And if you want to improve in the game, I hope you join me on this journey, because I'm going to improve one way or another. You know, I'm not trying to be the best. I'm not trying to outdo everybody in this game. I'm playing this for fun, but I'm going to learn one way or another, whether I want to or not. That's the point I was going to make. So down the road, I'm curious to see the difference. And we'll see if it's skill based that's the issue, or if it's actually the player. So now let's watch that other video. And this will explain again on why I shoot the walls a lot of the times. Partly why. There's two videos.
A gunfight, and then again, your right stick, instead of using your right stick for the aim assist, like I was saying, you can kind of go like that. What you want to do is use your right stick for recoil control, which will be the next tip that I'm about to show you. So yeah, tip number 2, recoil control. If you shoot at a wall, this is very, very simple. Every gun has its own separate recoil, and every gun is going to have its own separate recoil control. So if you know the weapon that you're using and the recoil control that it has, it's going to be a lot easier to use, obviously, every single time you play. So when you get a weapon, what you want to do is you want to shoot it at the wall and see the recoil pattern. So the recoil pattern, hold up, there's a bot pulling up to my left. He's just running into walls over there. So if the recoil pattern, if I shoot this at the wall with this gun, which is the MCW, is going to look like this. I'm not controlling anything. It's going straight up. And as you can see, that is a straight up and then a little bit to the left recoil pattern. So with that being said, what you want to do is get back to the same thing. If it goes up and then slightly to the left, you want to pull down and slightly to the right. So it's going to look something like this, down, slightly to the right. And that same recoil control that I just showed you goes from that to this. And now if you have something like this while you're controlling your recoil, and that's going to take practice and reps and just getting better every single day that you play the game. If you have recoil control that looks like that, or even if it's just half of that, even if it was like half of that where it's like, you know, you start doing it a little bit later, it's a little less tight, that is still going to be so important with the rotational aim assist. Or even if you're a mouse and keyboard player and you're trying to track someone and you do the same thing with your mouse, you pull down and a little slightly to the right, it's going to help you so much when you're tracking people.
See, a lot of information there. And a lot of this stuff I'm trying to learn as I go. That's why I wanted to play, do it live, you know. But even with making that change and why I shoot the wall, I'm trying to learn, like I was mentioning too, with the weapon I was using, it shoots all over the place. So that's part of the reason. Okay. So now let's watch the second video. Because this is where it'll help explain why I shoot the walls, or why I shoot before I go around a turn. See, a lot of the haters like to point this stuff out. That's because they don't want to learn. And that's all people hear is the criticism and the hate. If you remove it, you open up yourself to opportunities and possibilities on other avenues you can take to become a better player or improve your play for fun. Because if you watch my streams on Call of Duty, I still die. We win, we lose. I don't care. I don't give a flying about it right now. I'm having fun. And even with not giving a rat's about it, I'm still improving. And that's what I want to share with you guys. It's up to you to improve.
Will just be missing. You either want to do like chest high or honestly like stomach high, so your first couple bullets recoil up to the chest, which does the most damage, and then sometimes even the headshots. So around the stomach high is where you want to be for the centering, and then the more you do that and the more you gotta kind of just get aware with the map, the better you'll get with this, and it will help you out tremendously. Tip number 4 is not the most important tip, but it's just a bonus tip kind of just from watching this video that might help you out a little bit, and it's hip firing first up close. So there's two things. You can pre-fire long range and hip fire up close for short range. And what I mean by that is hip firing first is when you're trying to turn a corner and you know that there is someone around the corner and you are anticipating it. What you want to do is when you slide a corner or jump a corner, you actually want to shoot with your right trigger first before you aim in, because you're actually going to get a bullet or two off in that close range. You see how I shot before I got my aims down sight fully in there? Instead of, you know, jumping, aiming, shooting, you can jump, shoot, aim, and you get 1 or 2 bullets off before you even get fully ADS'd. And you know how Call of Duty is. You die pretty quickly. You might halfway, you know, kill the guy before you even fully ADS and get really accurate with it. You actually want to hit your right trigger before your left trigger, or yeah, right trigger first and then
So there are reasons why I shoot the gun ahead of time before I'm on my target, and this was just a couple reasons. And then you've seen the improvement. And I even changed the gun, changed out the loadout, changed my settings, and then I'm going in playing with random people just the same, but I had a different outcome. See what I mean? I don't think it's the matchmaking that's the issue. So hold on. So here comes the part of the video where it's going to be more of a bigger explanation and a rant. Because I've been playing video games for a long time. That's where my expertise comes in. Uh, I have experience. I have a lot of it. And as I mentioned before, I used to play Call of Duty, Rainbow Six, um, Vegas, uh, Gears of War, you know. And there's a big difference in how people play those games back then versus how they're playing now. And this is where the skill set is bad. See, they're putting you with other skilled players, and it's more of a challenge and it's very more difficult because you're still playing with random people and you have to work together as a team. And that's the point I was trying to make. Back when I used to play these games, we played in a group. Not every group played together. Like some friends would play, Gears and Halo. Some would do Call of Duty and Rainbow, blah, blah, blah. But we always played with the same people in Call of Duty. We played the same people in Rainbow, the same 5 people, the same people over and over. And we were forced to be reckoned with. Yes, you win some, yes, you lose some, but the quality of the game was better. The quality of the play of the game was better. And you got to think about that. Think about the military, think about the police, the SWAT team, the Rangers, the SEALs. They eat, sleep, and together. They do all that. And they're a tight group, and they're a force to be reckoned with. We don't have that anymore. Everyone's random doing their own thing. Even if in this video, in the beginning where I showed that I was messing up, in that stream, and then the one I did the night before, um, everyone is doing their own thing. And I don't usually do parties where everyone's in a different game. When I'm being a tryhard, um, we're all in the same game. We're all talking about the same game. But as I mentioned, I'm having fun in Call of Duty. I'm streaming. I don't care if we win, lose, or draw. I'm having fun. But I hope you check out my streams and see what I'm talking about. It'll be a better understanding. And if you haven't, I'll just tell you real quick. Everyone's playing their own game. Like, for example, they were talking about Watchdog. Some are playing Fallout. And they're talking about Watchdog, Fallout, when they have to work, about their job, some other little personal stuff going on with their friends or such and such, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's having their own conversation, and everyone's talking about how else do I explain that? It's like everyone's doing their own thing, and they're just in the same room, not necessarily talking to each other the whole time. Everyone has their own agenda. And when you bring that to a game, you're going to have the same result. You're going to have all this stuff going on, and not everyone's going to be on the same common goal, and that's going to affect it. So when you want to play and you actually want to be successful and you want to, you're going to get called to try hard. If you want to succeed and you actually want to have the win, you need to be with your own squad. You need to be with people with the same agenda and goal as you. If you do that, you will see the improvement. You got over 200,000 people playing this game. The game can't always match you up where you think is best, and it doesn't know you that well. So it's going to do the best it can with what it has. And as I mentioned with the language thing, um, communication is key. When we used to play back in the day, even when I met new people, we all had roles to play. For example, most of the time, if there's a game that's got a vehicle and it's got a gun, like Halo or what's the other role? Well, even like Grand Theft, I'm usually the driver. So that's my role. We go in a situation. I have a role. This way, there's less confusion, less time to think. You have more time to react and get ahead, because that's usually all it takes is a split second to change the tides of the game. But when I started playing Call of Duty, I don't know the terrain, I don't know the area. I was playing zombies, and this dude came up in a quad, four wheeler, and I jumped on. He knows the terrain, he knows where to go. Okay, so I had to shoot. That's my role. My role is to shoot. I have to accept it. By doing so, it allowed him to accept his role and do what he had to do, and we could be successful. And if you like that, that's the kind of choices and sacrifices and changes you have to make to be successful. That had nothing to do with the skill based matchmaking. It just had to deal with accepting the situation you're in, accepting what outcomes or choices you can make, because you have a bunch of choices, but realizing if I make this choice, I'm going to go this way. If I make this choice, we're going to go that way. And you just have to decide. When you do that, you will see an improvement. See what I'm saying? So we're going to get to the conclusion here soon. But for those that want to change their settings or maybe give your settings a second look and you're curious on what I did, I can show it to you, but this video is going on long enough. Make a comment. I'm just going to say roughly, if I get like 20 comments, I'll make a separate video showing what my settings are right now, currently, and why I went with it. Also, as I mentioned, those two YouTubers earlier, you can watch their video, see how they do it, and they will show their settings as well. I just didn't want to drag this out too long, you know what I'm saying? So on the days that you want to have more success and you want to win more, the days that you might want to be a tryhard, go in with the same group of people, your friends, whatever. Figure out what you guys want to do, what roles you want to have, and you will see a big and humongo improvement. Also, I recommend in doing practice games. I know a lot of people don't want to do it because you don't get the XP, and I'm right there with you. But if you spend a little time for yourself, then you'll see a little bit improvement. See, so there's a bunch of ways to get improvement. So I hope this was helpful. Hope you understand why I chose the title the way I did. But at this point, I don't see the skill-based matchmaking as the issue. I think the players are so used to playing a certain way, whether they're however way they're playing. I'm trying to stay positive. I don't want to say anything negative toward them, but they're stuck in their ways. And I went through this with Fallout and other games. And like I said, I'm a hypocrite. I'm the new player in here versus the other game. I'm the veterans. But the point I'm trying to make is the veteran players, you need to change your style. You need to adjust and play differently. You can't play like you used to. I mean, even if you buy a new car, you know, you're a good driver, you're a skilled driver, you're going to have to adjust because the car is going to handle differently. And you're good at doing this. You guys should look at yourself and realize you're good at making changes because you use different guns. You don't just use the same gun. Every gun has a different purpose and reacts differently. So it's the same thing. It's not a big change you have to make. It's just a lot of little changes. The way you load your gun, the gun you're going to use, when you're going to use it, you do that already. So now you got to think about, well, instead of shooting somebody in the corner and camping, I got to move more side to side to keep that aim assist working right. That's a little bit of a change. You do that, you're giving yourself an opportunity to not only play better, have more fun, but you're going to be more successful. So thank you guys so much for bearing with me, being through this whole part. If you made it to here, if you like it, like it. If you didn't like it, don't like it. Hit the button, of course, if you did like it. Hit the other button if you didn't. It helps me out either way to figure out where I'm going to go from here. And then share it, share the information, because I am new to Call of Duty. I'm not the biggest YouTuber out there, but I figure you can now see what the veteran YouTubers are saying versus what the newer players are saying, because there's a lot of newer YouTubers, and you can make your own comparison and check it out and let me know what you think. And I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Have fun.
So you listening, I can feel your pulse again, creeping through the rhythm of my heart.